Council of the governing NPP for affirmation. But what will Opoku Prempeh ticket mean to the chances of the governing party on December 7th? My colleague Ibrahim Al-Hassan is the head of the political desk here at GH1 TV, and he joins me for a conversation on this. Ibrahim, thank you very much. I'm grateful for your time tonight. Yes, a lot coming up. Education Minister, in fact, the market women in other places calling for more parity. Now, I'm just torn in between. Who is that choice being made, and what's the conversation surrounding it?
Well, so let's look at how we got here, because this has been a long time coming. The vice president got elected as the flag bearer of the NPP months ago. In fact, per the dictates of the constitution of the party, he ought to have named his running mate months ago. Of course, he appeared before the National Council of the party, National Council of Elders, and then pleaded with the council through the NEC as well, National Executive Committee, to waive that provision in the constitution, to give him leverage, to take time to set for a suitable running mate. In fact, what we understand is that as of the last time he appeared before the National Council, he had two names. One that was flatly rejected by the National Council, and then he subsequently pleaded for more time to settle on one. The reason why it's taking us this while to get to know who is partnering Bawumia comes with many nuances. You mentioned some of the names, so the names have been money. At the point, every month we're getting one more name joining the race.
Take your time, break it down for me.
Yes.
Even the two names.
Yes.
Get all the details.
Yes. So first of all, as for Dr. Opoku Prempeh, whom we will return to, his name had always been part of this equation. From Parliament, where I report from the Ashanti caucus as well in Parliament, and also in the political space within the governing NPP. But of course, another name that came up prominently is the current education minister. In fact, who served as a deputy education minister under Dr. Opoku Prempeh. I'm talking about Dr. Osei Educhum. Educhum was tipped favorably by some within certain quarters in the party because they felt he's more calmer. He didn't come with a lot of baggage. Again, here is an education minister who had lived abroad for a while, new to the political terrain, but had been able to rise from the deputy ministerial status to a substantive minister. Again, if you look at the choice of John Mahama, who is an educationist, they were looking at like for like. So that's the trump card for Dr. Osei Educhum. And then you look at the fact that from day one, the search had been narrowed to just one region, and that's the Ashanti region. So names like Akushefrimo Parry came in whenever the gender card was put on the table. Names like Prez Akuffo, the current communications minister, came up again on the gender card. Again, Dr Addo, who is a common fund, this is Assembly Common Fund administrator. Even though that name came in belatedly, the push has been vociferous. The maneuverings and then the lobbying and then the stories projecting her have been vociferous. Again, I mentioned Prez Akuffo. So let me go back to why I told you that the naming of the running mate of Dr. Bawumia had become much more protracted and, if you like, a headache to the vice president. Because even now, as we speak, we are unable to definitely tell you that it is Dr. Opoku Prempeh, because the vice president has had to, or the flag bearer of the NPP has had to have a meeting with his boss. That's call it a meeting between the driver and the mate. And
obviously not to discuss sales, but who will come after.
Exactly. That's a good one. And as to whether how much has been made after the day's work. No, this is about succession plan and who best to help the flag bearer succeed the boss, President Akuffo Addo. The delay had also been because there were disagreements. I told you earlier that about 2 names were presented. I can confidently tell you that one of the names was Dr. Opoku Prempeh, the Energy Minister and Member of Parliament for Mesia South.
Okay.
There were disagreements. And those disagreements did not come from just nobodies within the party. Even the president. Why? The president had reasons per our sources. Now, the president's argument is that politically, is that a prudent decision to take? Where your vice president, obviously, is louder than the president. No, everybody knows that Dr. Opoku Prempeh is loud politically.
Absolutely.
That could be an advantage for him. But if you look at the trajectory since 1992, no presidential candidate has ever gone for a running mate louder than him.
You would want somebody who is more calmer, who will work behind you.
When you become too loud, he will then push you to quieten you slowly. Not when you are calmer, he then becomes too loud that you, the boss, will have to be calming your mate down. So
does Napo look like somebody you can actually keep calm?
That's a good question.
He's a wildcat.
Exactly. So these are the permutations. That's one. The other one had got to do with the interest behind the Napo campaign. See, recently, Kennedy Agyapong joined the campaign trail in the Ashanti region. I can tell you on authority that one of the demands on the table for that to happen is for Dr. Opoku Prempeh to be made running mate to Dr. Bawumia. Because on record, Kennedy Agyapong, since he lost, had said he wanted nothing to do with the 2024 NPP campaign. He said it on record. Again, he was not going to contribute a penny, not financially.
All of a sudden, there's a twist, there's a change. And even some party members are wondering, what changed?
This is what changed. There's a demand. And see, Kennedy Agyapong has never shied away from indicating that his choice is Dr. Opoku Prempeh. Even when he was in the race to become the flag bearer, there were other individuals within the party who incurred his wrath, and he called them out publicly. But he mentioned Dr. Opoku Prempeh's name with love and said, even though he's not in his camp, he doesn't disrespect him. He shows him respect. And so what we understand is happening is Kennedy Agyapong saying that Napo should be the running mate to Dr. Bawumia. The interest is not only from Kennedy Agyapong. No. If you go to the national hierarchy of the party, national executives, I can tell you that Dr. Opoku Prempeh commands the support of about 80% of the current national leaders of the ruling NPP. Now, mind you, many of these leaders are within the kitchen cabinet of the flag bearer of the party, Dr. Bawumia.
Okay.
So their voices are voices of weight. Dr. Opoku Prempeh had been preparing for today and this moment a very long time ago. In politics, that's what we do.
But let's remind our viewers that in your analysis, and I'll solely keep it with you, you're like, number one is actually not also for this.
Exactly, and that's why nobody is able to say emphatically and categorically that Dr. Bawumia, the NPP flag bearer, has chosen Dr. Opoku Prempeh as the running mate. You know why? Because that was why there was a meeting today. This meeting was to present a name. The president can reject that name. Again, if there is certainty, the presentations will have been done before the National Council of the party, which has the constitutional right to either agree or disagree.
What's number one rooting for then, if it's not Matthew Opoku?
One of them is late now, and that is John Kuma. John Kuma, yes, the former member of parliament for Ejoso and then former deputy finance minister, was a compromise choice. Not too ambitious, not too loud, and not out there, but still from the Ashanti region, which fits the search description. And then, so that's one. Two will be the member of parliament for Bekwai and first deputy speaker, Joseph Oseusu.
Oh, his name has come up also.
Exactly. Who's a lawyer. So at a point, the president had him on his list as to those that should partner Bawumia to go into December 7. Unfortunately, the Sefo Sewusu on record had said, even in my one engagement I had with him, that he had no interest in partnering Dr. Bawumia. That was part of the reasons why it had become difficult to galvanize support for him. Again, the reason why he said he had no interest was that he felt the majority leader then and Minister for Parliamentary Affairs, Osei Mensah-Bonsu, was equally in the race. So he felt if Osei Mensah-Bonsu was in the race...
Why do I go in there?
So when he realized that he had become the president's choice, it was a little too late. The other one, of course, is that the vice president is also looking at what happens after December 7, finally.
And having to end it now, so I'll give you 30 seconds to mention all the interest very fast.
Yes, the vice president will have to look either beyond December 7, 2024, right? Assuming the vice president doesn't win, what will be the opportunity for him to come again and again and again, like his boss did before clinching the ultimate? If he picks a running mate who is ambitious, will that running mate be able to wait patiently for them to come as partners as many times as the party will allow before they clinch the ultimate, or that running mate will overtake him and then assume the reign of leadership of the party? These are the permutations. So like I said, we await the final decision from the Council of Elders, and finally we had an apostle in there. Of course, Apostle Opoku Addo. Many had said that he had said no. He actually wanted it. Pentecost as a church wanted it, but then when the meetings were done, it was concluded that no, he had not delivered the cathedral promise.
The Pentecost in there. Ibrahim Alasan, thank you very much.